Hello, everybody, and we are live. I'm your host, Kevin. Welcome back to another Coinsider live stream. We do these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. You know exactly when we're going to do these. And today we have a really interesting topic as the main segment of our show. I was creative this time. Usually I'm like, ETH this, Bitcoin this, but this time, the main segment of the show, we're going to look into the big question. Are layer 2s dead forever? Is the layer 2 thesis dead? Let me change it. Is the L2 thesis dead? That's what I'm going to change the theme. Yeah. Oh, folks, if you're watching this stream afterwards, like when it's not live, I will leave timestamps for you so you can jump around. Last time, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic to announce that we were able to reach over 100 likes on the stream. So thank you all so much for that. You can support me always really easily. It's free, it's quick. Just by smashing that like button on this stream, whether you're watching now or after the fact, 100 likes on the stream is my goal. It's quite easy, and I greatly appreciate it every time you help me reach that. Okay, so like I said, the main segment of this show is the L2 thesis dead? And the reason why people are thinking about this is because Circle, if you didn't notice, Circle is launching their own blockchain for USDC. Stripe is launching their own blockchain, etc., etc., etc. So we're gonna take a big, deep dive look into that today and look at all the different announcements there and different opinions there. But as always, we have to whatchamacallit, we have to start with a quick market pulse. Just a quick look. It's always good to have ourselves kind of centered in terms of what's going on in the broader markets. Okay, so let me share screen right here. Okay. So there's been quite a big correction recently, actually. Yeah, look at this. It's been quite a big correction in not only ETH, Bitcoin, and a lot of other alts. Hyperliquid's actually holding up quite well, which is good to see. But there's been a big correction, and I honestly think that this correction is much needed and is good because, like some people wrote on X and in our Retail DAO community, if we kept just rocketing, if ETH just kept rocketing to new all-time highs and kept going, then that would mean that this cycle is going to be a lot shorter. Because if ETH has its blow off top and then alt season and then boom, done, bear market, that's not good. We want things lengthened out a little bit, right? That's ideal. In my opinion, that's ideal. What about y'all? So I think this correction is actually good and much needed. And Bitcoin was able to reach its fill its CME gap, I believe, at like 117. And look, it's back to neutral, not even greed right now. 41%. It's not even true alt season yet. ETF still looking healthy. ETF flows. So let's take a look at some charts. BTC dominance. Let's see this chart. Let me go over here, actually. BTC dominance on the, let's do daily. Yeah, a little bit more, little bump here, but nothing really to report. DXY, dollar strength index. Let me delete this little, how do I get this little thing? Let me just move it right here. Yeah, DXY still low. Nothing really to report except there's like a little higher low per se here. So maybe DXY is eventually going to reverse. Hopefully it stays sideways for a while or ranges or drops even below. Let me draw this line. Horizontal line. Hopefully it goes back down here or drops below so we can have more of a party for Bitcoin and risk assets. You want a bear market, Maverick. You must have a lot of sideline cash right now. Okay, we're still in market pulse. What else do we want to look at? Oh, I want to look at total 3 minus USDT, maybe even minus USDC divided by ETH. Wow, look at this. It is still ETH season, guys. Don't get it wrong. It is still ETH season and potentially lower to go. Let me change this to the weekly. It is kind of hitting support though, like around these levels. Can it go? Can ETH season continue? And if it breaks down that level and goes to here, that would be crazy for ETH. Yeah, I think alt season won't really start. I mean, I'm not the only one to say this. Many people are saying this. Alt season won't really start until ETH tops. And I think that could be here, hopefully. So I would be looking to rotate ETH into alts around these levels. I mean, maybe we don't get exactly here. You know, markets are never clean. It's never just a straight line somewhere, right? But that's always interesting to see. Bitcoin ETFs, still some positives. That's good to see. Maybe today is going to be a negative day once it's all said and done. ETH still just people gobbling up ETH in the ETFs. It's good to see. Funding rates, nothing too elevated. In fact, some things are, nothing too elevated. Liquidation heat maps. Oh, wow. See, they went hunting for these longs over here, 117 and 116. But now there's a heavy shorts here at 119. So hopefully we eventually go up there and go to new all-time highs. Okay, so that was the quick market pulse. I do want to do a quick big beautiful news big beautiful news segment and talk about the inflation print, because that is arguably what caused a lot of the problems, right? So, let's see. Where is that? Okay. So this was from yesterday. July PPI inflation rises to 3.3% above expectations. This is the key. It's all about relative to expectations. Core PPI inflation rose to 3.7%, also above expectations. Month over month, in PPI inflation is now at its hottest since March of 2022. The Fed remains in a very difficult spot here. This is key. The discussion has shifted to a 25 or 50 basis point rate cut in September. Meanwhile, PPI inflation appears to be red hot. So let's take a look at the Fed decision probability, actually. No change actually dropped or jumped. If you look at here, no change jumped double from 12% to 24%, but 25 basis point decrease is still at 75%. This jumped after the PPI inflation print. Are you ready for what's next? This week's inflation was not ideal. PPI inflation is clearly reaccelerating. If you see this little jump right here, the question has shifted from if the Fed will cut rates to how many rate cuts. 94% chance of a rate cut in September, with markets pricing in a base case of this could change though. This could really change. In fact, I may actually be contrarian and say only 2 rate cuts in 2025. I mean, it's not that contrarian, but like Trump is calling for a 300 basis point interest rate cut. It would be 3 times larger than the 100 basis point cut on March 15th, 2020, the largest in history. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is refusing to do so for now. However, Trump is narrowing down his list for the next Fed chair, which will take effect by May 2026 or sooner, depending on what Powell decides to do. He wants rates down to 1%. If this happens, okay, that's not that. Near-term effects on equity. I actually made a video about rate cuts and its effect on Bitcoin. Like, I feel like it's better analysis than what you see here. Let me show you. It's right here, this one. The true effect of rate cuts on Bitcoin is not what you think. If you guys want to know the different scenarios and the nuances, then you definitely got to watch that video. Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't, which is why I think there's only 2 this year. Alt season is delayed. I do think there will be alt season eventually, but you got to be patient. The market's almost certain the Fed will cut rates in September, largely due to data of a softening job market. But on the inflation side, like Maverick said, there's little to justify rate cuts. Core services inflation have now ticked higher year on year for 2 months in a row. It will stay stuck on a plateau well above target, which is, I believe, 2%. So this is the chart of core services. It's ticking up, headline, etc., etc. The market knows futures are now pricing in 75 basis points or more of interest rate cuts by year end. Meanwhile, yields are rising with the 10-year note yield back to 4.3%. Why? Well, because tariffs are here to stay, inflation is heating up, and the U.S. deficit spending crisis is worse than ever. Watch the bond market. That's also the key thing. Like, the bond market sometimes forces the Fed's hand. And I explain more. If you don't know what that means, I explain more in my rate cuts video, which you should watch right after the stream. But here, look at what he's saying. He's saying that inflation is down to a quote unquote perfect number. Let's listen to this, folks.
Fighting the menace of inflation to make life more affordable for American seniors, and we've ended Biden's inflation nightmare. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country, and now our inflation is down to a perfect number, a beautiful number, hardly any at all. And yet our country is taking in tens of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars.
A beautiful number, hardly any inflation. You hear that? So he wants rate cuts still. He wants rate cuts, and he wants them now. Okay. One sec. Okay, so the main segment of the day is the L2 Thesis dead? Are layer 2s, you should give up on them? We're going to answer that question. We're going to look at all the different debate discussions about it. But also reminder, folks, my goal is 100 likes on the stream. If you can give me a like right now, or if you're watching afterwards, it would both help. We reached it last time, so I'm really grateful to you for that. But just real quick before we get to the main segment of the show, I want to give a quick shout out to our longtime channel partners and sponsored 3 commas. I want to share with you real quick. They have a lot of bots. Okay, they have all the different bots. They have some of the most customizable bots I've ever seen in crypto, hands down. But today I want to share with you a specific one called the Signal bot, because what this does is that this lets you automate your TradingView strategies, which is really powerful because we've been looking at TradingView so much. I've added new indicators to my TradingView, and like momentum indicators or simple ones like RSI or whatnot, like you can put these webhooks into TradingView and it will send a signal to your 3 commas and automatically buy or sell if certain indicators hit, right? And there's so many things you can do. You can do take profit, stop loss, flexible order scaling, and a lot of different modes, and you can track everything. Yeah, there's so many things you can do here. Let me just show you real quick. Okay, first of all, there's a lot of options. It makes it a little bit complicated at times, but fortunately, they have this knowledge base. And if you go to the signal bot section, there's so many different things that helps you like get it set up, exactly what you need to do in each section. Very, very, very helpful. And I've also made videos about it in the past. You can just search 3 commas bots on YouTube and watch my videos there. But let me show you an example real quick. One sec. One sec. Let me just log in. Okay, so for example, I'm not going to take the time to set up everything now, but like Signal bot, right? Or start a new bot, Signal bot, and then like trading view strategy or custom signal, and then you could do long, reversal, or short, and then put these things into your webhook URL for trading view and your webhook message. It's quite straightforward. And like I said, you can go to the knowledge base if you need help. But I want to share with you an example though. Like, for example, I've been using indicators like these super trend indicators, right? So let's go to 1 hour instead. It's calculating. So I could say when super trend sell, then we sell. When super trend buy flashes in a certain time frame, like 1 hour, then buy, right? Like we do this manually right now. I do this manually right now, but if you want to automate it, 3 commas can do that for you right from TradingView integration. So it's really powerful. Definitely encourage y'all to check it out using my link below. All right, folks. Now I want to talk about GG. Should I sell all? I'm hodling, bro. It's too early. We're still we're still in bull mode. I think we're just doing a healthy correction, healthy retest. 1 comma club. Okay. Main segment of the day is the L2 Thesis dead. Very interesting debate. I have a lot of stuff to show y'all. And we shall see if we think it is dead. Very curious to hear your opinions after we take a look at some of these. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. L2 Thesis is dead. Tether, Stripe, Circle, all launching their own L1s to compete with Ethereum. Roll-up securities guarantees don't matter when you're using fiat stablecoins or other RWAs because those assets are centralized anyway. Interesting. This is way too autistically rational. Yes, it matters. Off-chain coordination, expensive and annoying. If you want, you can have a treaty of sorts through Ethereum L1. We were told for years that TradFi would choose to build rollups. Robinhood did. Robinhood and Coinbase did, but a lot of other ones are choosing L1s. First true wave of TradFi chains are building L1s. Robin is a TradFi building L2. Robinhood, Kraken, Coinbase. This is the other opinion, right? The other side. Even though they are cutthroat competitors. Launching an L1 blockchain as a stablecoin issuer is the most useless thing imaginable. They want the best interop with their existing deployment of stables imaginable, and that is only possible on an Ethereum L2. They're not competing with Ethereum, they're competing with Visa. Interesting. And remember, Circle chose an L1. Let me change my view here. And this was like kind of kicked off the debate. Circle built its own blockchain. It's not a roll up, it's a layer 1. They want to control the whole vertical stack per se. It's going to be called ARC, Ethereum compatible, but uses USDC for gas. The Ethereum, I mean, I'm still going to use Ethereum and Base and stuff like that. I guess we can use ARC too. I guess it doesn't really matter. Vertical integration. This is key. Vertical integration. Their L1 is built on Malachite. It's a rewrite of Tendermint, if you've heard of that before. And it's not a rejection of Ethereum, but standard business choice for a team with sufficient resources. They want vertical integration. Let's see what people's opinions are. Avalanche, this Avalanche guy, you see this red dot? He says, let's see, can I do this? Yes. The worst kept secret is that Circle and Stripe will build their own L1 blockchains. I wanted to provide some thoughts. After Robinhood announcements, CT does what it does best. They pivoted back to every institution will launch an L2. They chose Ethereum because of Tom Lee. This was also always nonsense because Robinhood considered many architectures. They were not all L2s. Blah, blah, blah. Unlimited resources. There are many banks on prem versus cloud. That's a good point. Building an L1 does provide the ability to launch a token. Like Hyperliquid is one use case. 42 billion FDV for one use case. This is and has always been a key weakness for L2. Avalanche has built a network that allows for builders and enterprises to launch their own L1 blockchains, and there is a market for that. FIFA, MapleStory, Gonzilla chose to build on AVAX. Validates that there will be many L1 blockchains, and Avalanche can power that. It's not uncommon. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But on the other hand, is the L2 Thesis dead? Because check this out. This is base. This is base DEX metrics. Let me change my view of it. It's just rocketing. Base is absolutely rocketing, and it's guess what? L2. So this is an example on the other side. But here's another view. Maybe it's too early to tell if the L2 thesis is dead, just because Stripe, Circle, Tether, etc., are all building their own layer 1s instead. Check this out. A few companies saying that they'll try something doesn't mean L2 thesis is dead. Read the history of private internets in the 1990s. If you don't remember, when the internet boom was happening, companies were like trying to do their own intranets, but obviously that didn't really like dominate like a lot of people thought. A lot of thought leaders said that it was going to. It turned out to be a huge public internet. I mean, there's some private small intranets, but that wasn't like the main deal, right? So that is some food for thought. Maybe it's not. Companies are not always right. Let me see. Let me add some more stuff. Some more opinions. I want to hear y'all's opinion too, chat. But there's some more things to consider first. This guy writes, contrarian opinion. Corporate L1s and L2s won't succeed. I know of Base, Stripe, Robinhood, Circle, Plasma. It's contrarian. Ping me in 5 years. This is very contrarian. Corporate L1s and L2s won't succeed. I mean, Base is succeeding. Why will that not succeed? I mean, Retail DAO is built on Base. I feel like it's decently like crypto-y enough and not a corpo chain per se, depending on what they decide to do with it in the future, of course. I can't really imagine using like Stripe. Maybe I'll use Circle's thing when I do some USDC stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like when I send some USDC, USDT, folks, are you going to use Circle and Tether's chain, Plasma? Rather build on existing chain, like, yeah, but you're not a massive company like Circle and Stripe per se, you know? That's the big difference. As a builder of an app or a dApp, of course we'd rather choose Sui or Solana. Okay, folks, we're still on the L2 thesis, dead or not. Check this out. This guy from Blockworks is saying something kind of similar to what whatchamacallit, I think Maverick was saying. Let's watch this together. And let me know if y'all can hear the audio, okay?
The help of Paradigm. Sounds good. All right, everyone. It is new L1 blockchain day because we got a bunch of news that everyone and their mother is launching a chain today. So we just got news that Stripe is launching their own L1 with the help of Paradigm. Sounds, what do you think about that? Paradigm, you're so dedicated to Ethereum. Come on, guys. We also have Circle. They're launching their own L1. And this is bringing up this age-old question of, is every app going to be built on a monolithic chain like Solana? Are they going to be built on rollups on Ethereum? Or is it going to be like Cosmos says, and everyone's going to want to launch their own L1? I used to be in the Cosmos camp. I've always said Cosmos has my heart. I love the app chain thesis originally, but I am going to take the other side of this one. I think it's going to take a little while to play out because right now the intuition is, hey, I'm Stripe. I have a shit ton of distribution. People are using my network. I don't want to pay fees to Ethereum. I want to own the network and extract fees myself. And I think that's very, very intuitive and compelling logic, but I don't think it's going to work in the long run. And the reason, I've got 3 reasons for you, which is one, I think that over time, companies will begin to ask themselves, is this core to my offering? And if it doesn't improve Stripe on their core mission of running a blockchain, right? Which is, does Stripe want to compete by being the best at running blockchains? Is that the vector of competition that they want to do? I don't think they're going to continue to do it. And they're going to use some other vendor that crops up, or they're just going to run a centralized sequencer that rolls up to something like Ethereum and handles consensus and DA, whatever. So I don't really think that running a blockchain is core to what most companies want to do. So I think that they're going to rely on external vendors. 2, I think the corpo chain stuff, even back when enterprise blockchain was going on, I was like, okay, this had some legs, but I think the one aspect that it's always been deficient at is it's not.
You guys remember the enterprise blockchain craze? This was like 2017 cycle, I think, 2017, 2018, all those enterprise projects. Like, we're going to help enterprise build their own chains. Remember that?
Not very good at attracting developers.
That kind of died, by the way.
The most important metric still is, are you building a cool ecosystem where there's low friction and it's cool for developers to build on? And that's the most important forward-looking metric. And it's like, who really wants to build on Stripe chain? I just don't think that's nearly as attractive as building on an open permissionless chain where you have way fewer barriers to entry. And it's probably going to be less extractive than a company like Stripe, who frankly is great at extracting and creating value. So I don't think that they're going to win on the developer front. And then also, I just think it's not a good end game architecture. Right? There's probably a world where, you know, a couple of years in, we actually do have, oh, hold on, buddy. I know, look at how distressed he is at this inferior market structure that we're going to end up with. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just, there's no real difference in between what we have now, which is a bunch of siloed databases, and a bunch of companies running their own siloed L1s. It's the same thing. So it's not a desirable end state market structure. I don't really think we should be rooting for it, but it's probably, I saw a lot of arguments that it's going to be bad for Ethereum because it's going to internalize a bunch of economics that should be going to Ethereum. I don't really buy that either. Ethereum is going up, not because it's stablecoin chain. Ethereum is going up because it's going up, because Tom Lee's buying. So that's probably not going to last forever, but I think it's basically neutral for the other L1s right now.
Interesting, folks. What do y'all think about that and his dog, his cute puppy? Let's take a look at some other opinions. Like Ryan Sean Adams from Bankless says Stripe and Circle L1s are good for Ethereum. The internet mid-curve is this basically that intranets were going to be much more important than the internet. That the success of corporate intranets would come at the cost of the permissionless internet. That was just media FUD. Many big companies thought this. Some headlines were intranets will dwarf internets, Business Week, blah, blah, blah. The year of the intranet. What ended up happening is in the history books, there was no fixed pie. It was win-win. Every corporate intranet accelerated the rise of the global internet. So I could see this happening, that their corporate L1 will connect to Ethereum. And if they're based on the EVM, which many of these are, company ledger will never be the world ledger. Don't mid-curve it. So I can see that as a decent argument. And here, this guy says every EVM developer contributes to Ethereum's network effects. That's pretty bullish. And they said like EVM dominance, blah, blah, blah. Seen posts saying that the L2 thesis is dead. I see the point. Most L2s are semi-centralized, which is the worst of both worlds. Centralized chains have hyper growth through catered user adoption. The centralized chains are free from censorship. The middle is just mid. I do think I do see this as a good point. Check this out. This is kind of the same. This is the most bullish thing for Ethereum. The recent wave of fintech's L1s isn't a sign that the L2 thesis is dead. It's a clear signal that the world is splitting into two camps: infinite censorship resistance or zero censorship resistance. And in that split, Ethereum owns one of the poles, aka the zero censorship resistance. It's credibly neutral, right? Credibly neutral global ledger is what their vision has always been. People imagine censorship resistance as a sliding scale. You can put yourself somewhere in the middle and just get just enough decentralization, but in practice, the middle collapses. The point of moment a chain can censor at all, it becomes impossible to distinguish between some censorship and total censorship. The collapse forces builders to choose. That's what. Oh, this is hot take. The middle Aptos Suite Avalanche will be squeezed to zero. They're competing in no man's land. This is a hot take. This is interesting thesis. We'll see. We'll see if this ends up being right or wrong. And Adam Cochran said this isn't even an L1. It's offensive to call it as such. It's a consortium chain with a private pre-approved validators, etc., etc. It's like PayPal's multi-vendor protocol. Might as well just run it on databases that understand EVM code. So they're like building new banks. So this is kind of like not even a and here's the video, by the way. Oh, very like elevator music. Open layer one. It's not really even open, right? I guess it's open in some ways. USDC has native gas, FX engines, sub-second finality, low predictable fees, opt-in privacy, cross-chain inter-op. Okay, I guess those are good features. Arc. Do you like the name Arc? And then I believe Stripes is called Tempo. Dang, I have this little freaking thing. Top crypto VC Matt Huang to lead Stripe blockchain Tempo as CEO, stay at Paradigm. Interesting. Stripe Tempo blockchain. Do they have anything on their website yet? No, it's just all like news reports. Foreign exchange, like exchange USDC for EuroC, or I don't know what else there is. You know, foreign exchange or other foreign currencies. Yes, they will also have. I mean, us degens will prefer, but if we have USDC or USDT to send, which many of us do, right? I do, you do, probably. We send it to other people around the world. For those, maybe like the wallets and exchanges will integrate with their blockchains for lower fees and whatnot. I mean, I currently send things on Base, on Tron, even sometimes. ETH, if there's not too much gas. You know, there's a lot of different choices. I'm not really, to be honest, I don't really care that much where I send it through, as long as it's supported from the other side. Okay, folks, let us move on to what I consider to be the funnest segment, the most fun segment, KOL Call Tracking. Let us see if any of these BTC to 150K. Cole Garner's take is probably going to be wrong soon. Bullish on August. August ends bullish. BTC bottoms around 111, 113K and then up. Has this been right or wrong? Post an early August, we should find a bottom around 11 to 13K and then up. This is like, did this happen? Wait, sorry, I forgot to show y'all. Let me see. Let me judge this call. What has BTC been doing since? On the daily. Early August. Bottom around kinda, right? And then we move up. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'll give this as a right. I mean, it has dropped a little bit, but it did go to new all-time highs. So I'm going to give this a right, actually. Oh, Crypto Boss called BTC dominance to what? 56% or so? Let us check that, actually. BTC dominance. Has it gone that low? No, not yet. We wait. We wait on this call. We wait. Oh, Tia overhype as of early July. Let's see. Tia Celestia, has that been doing anything or no? Tia USDC, okay. Bro. Early July. Okay, it's up. It's up since here, right? A little bit up. Let us see. Hype since early July. Hyperliquid since, where's early July? Here. Early July. He made the call around like here. This is up way more. Maybe I'm going to give this a... I'll give this some more time. It's more of like a swing trade, pair trade call. Let's see. By the way, folks, if you want anything tracked, it's really easy. All you got to do is tag. Ooh, check this out. Someone did this exactly the way it's supposed to be done. Tesla, thank you for that. Track him. Done. BTC top is in. Wait, when did he call this? August 14th. Top is in. Okay. Bold call, Wiz. And also we screenshot, folks. We screenshot because some of these influencer clowns delete their posts, and I have proofs that they deleted it. Okay, let me add this Wiz. And when is their post? On August 14th. BTC top is in. Okay, August 14th, 2025. Let's give it like a month or two. TBD, BTC. Folks, it's really easy. All you got to do is tag us. Let's see. Let me see. What else is there? Blah, 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 blah. Any other? Okay, let me bookmarks. No, I don't have anything else for now. But we will continue to add to this KOL call tracker together and start calling out people or giving them props for getting things right or wrong. I am on the base app. Are you? If so, I'll follow you. Folks, like I always say, would greatly appreciate a like on the stream. The goal is 100. We were able to get that last time with your help. I am very grateful. Thank you so much. If you can give me a like on this stream, or if you're watching the VOD afterwards. Now, I really think y'all should join Retail DAO. We have the best community of savvy retail investors. We are not here to spoon feed anyone, but if you put in the time, put in the work with each other, lean on each other, debate, discuss, share opportunities, give your contrarian views and the reason why. That is how we lift each other up. That is how we succeed in this space, in this difficult market and difficult cycle. The link to the website is up here. Our big, beautiful website. And I am really hyped because I am making a video. Meme coin super cycle. I am making a video like this one. Wait, can I? Here, I'm making a video like this one, the meme coin super cycle. It was whether you like meme coins or not, you cannot deny that it wasn't a transformative speech, a cycle defining speech, a thesis that really cut into the core of why we are feeling the way we are for this whole cycle. So I'm making a video inspired by that. The title is, and this is a sneak peek. I think I told you already, but a sneak peek for people who watch my live streams. It's going to be the retail investor megatrend. It's not going to be talking about like meme coins and stuff, but it's going to be talking about a big thesis that's kind of been burning in me for a while now. Similar, like it aims to be a transformative piece like his meme coin supercycle thesis was, and really kind of break down the problems and the solutions and things like that. Yeah, I'm really excited for that, and definitely stay tuned. Probably going to release it next week. Hopefully it does very well, and maybe I can even go on a stage, and like he freaking went on a stage for this, right? Yeah, like he went on the stage at Token 2049 to give the speech. Who knows, if my video goes really well, I can maybe go on a oh wait, I'm not even sharing this. I can maybe go on the stage and give something titled Kevin from Coincider, not the meme coin super cycle, the retail investor megatrend, some other conference name, Token 2049. I don't remember when that is. Maybe in like October or something. But yeah, I'm really excited to launch that. And XBT, oh bro, you haven't been around for a while, huh? XBT is the other ticker for Bitcoin. No joke. You can look it up if you don't believe me. It used to be the ticker for Bitcoin, and like for like BitMEX or something like that. Wait, one sec. I'm not gonna end the stream yet. I'm going to find Bengali crypto on the base app right now. Crypto XBT 1. You have like a crypto punk type thing, right? Trader bullish on crypto. I followed you. This is you, right? Crypto. Wait, one sec. Let me take off this other thing. This is you, right? I think that's you. Murad, I don't like meme coins as much as he does, but I don't think he necessarily sucks. He didn't launch SPX 6900. He just picked it, shared his thesis, and is pumping his own bags, like working hard for it, right? Like I respect that. I mean, he's not like just shilling random stuff that people pay him to do, you know. He, as far as I know, there's nothing unethical about what he's done. Eventually it's a Google Pixel. I don't have an iPhone. I'm on mirror view. Yeah, but video. Okay, here's okay. There you go. Crypto XBT1. Is that you? I'm not on mirror view anymore. I don't know why it mirrors me, but I added you. Yeah, base app unfortunately isn't open to everyone yet. They're still doing a lot of testing, but once it is, I would love for all of our community here and the retail DAOs to be on there. We're going to have a big presence. We're going to party. We're going to hang out with people on there. Like Farcaster, everyone helped each other out. Like someone started a project, they did a airdrop to people in there. Oh, maybe we should do a retail DAO airdrop to people on the base app. That is interesting. I just thought of that. Airdrop to people in the base app to kind of make friends, you know? That's an idea. That's an idea. Kind of like the people did it in whatchamacallit. Kind of like the people did it in Farcaster or with Degen, you know? The shitcoin super cycle. Okay, you can do that, bro. All right, folks, great stream. Love doing this with y'all. Remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. See you all on Monday. And hope you can give me a quick like. And I'll see you around the Discord for Retail DAO or on X, et cetera,